Already opening the alcohol.
Well, it's for anyway.
Hey, what's up, you guys? So, I'd first like to start by thanking SlimXTeamSymmetry for letting me put this video on his channel.
Cheers to Slim.
Yeah, he helps smaller YuGi-Tubers. That makes him cool. And for this video, we're going to give you 10 decks that was 5. So, 10 decks that'll get better with Pendulum summoning. Let's go.
First one on the list is Crystal Beast. I personally chose that one because I like Crystal Beast. They're a deck that can be devastating with cards like Crystal Abundance and that damn field spell that just never goes away. But of course, the only problem is they have to work together. Pendulum Summoning kind of gives them that extra edge. Pendulum Summoning is pretty much another Crystal Abundance in itself, or another Ruby Carbuncle. And if you guys don't know, Ruby Carbuncle does help you spam the field. Now, Crystal Beasts have never been hugely competitive because Rainbow Dragon and things like this suck, but people are playing them. And since Xyz is actually a huge thing in the game right now, they show enough potential to actually be a thorn in a few players' side. So that's why I think Crystal Beast with Pendulum Summon would be awesome, because instead of having to wait for them to go to the Spell and Trap Zone and then go from there to the field, you immediately can just drop them to the field and start off your Xyz plays and then go from there to refilling your backfield for your later actual Crystal Beast, your Crystal Abundance and things like that.
The next deck is X-Sabers. I like X-Sabers. I play them all the time. And X-Sabers, that smells good. X-Sabers are cool because with Pendulum summoning, you no longer have to rely on things like Boggart Knight and like stuff like that to get to X-Sabers in the field to summon Fall Troll. Because everybody knows that kind of the big thing you want to do in Sabers is get your Fall Troll out, and a lot of times the issue is you summon Boggart Knight, use its effect, and they effect Veiler it or Phoenix Chain it. And with Pendulum summoning, you're able to just summon whatever Sabers you have in your hand, then immediately pitch Fall Troll, do your sinking, use your Fall Troll, get more pluses. It works. It really works. And it kind of just cuts one of the weaknesses that the deck has. You don't have to rely on a single card anymore. And so I think it'd be better that way. So, X-Sabers.
My next deck actually is Ice Barriers. Ice Barriers have never seen any competitive play, and
unfortunately,
I don't know, they all have cool effects. I don't know if you guys, anybody has any experience with them. I've never tried to play them in real life, but I play them online just for the fuck of it. But Ice Barriers have never seen any competitive play because they take too many pieces to work together, and we all know anything that takes a lot of combo pieces in this day and age is not a good deck to play.
Too many turns with normal summoning.
Normal summoning and having to protect small monsters. I mean, they're small monsters with devastating effects, but they work better together. Whereas now with Pendulum summoning, you can get them all out at once, and they're they're hard luck to get around. They have cards that stop destruction, that stop targeting, cards that stop attacks, and they also stop like spells and things like that. So they all have a lot of effect. Like I said, once again, they just work together. And in this day and age, if you're not playing speed or I guess what,
like the super consistent control decks,
exactly,
Fujin,
then you're not going anywhere. And Ice Barriers is neither one of those. Even with the whole little general whatever Gantella turbo shit, it's still nothing very devastating.
It's not really a threat, and so
exactly.
Yeah.
But if you get enough of them on the field with enough setup, then it's virtually impossible to get around that. So I mean, Pendulum Summon just kind of gives that deck a little more stability. So if you draw that handful of monsters that you want to get to the field now, you can. And at that point, you're pretty much playing the grind game. It's like playing fucking Herald of Perfection all over again, which is so trifling. I hate that deck.
Next deck is Wind-Ups. So Wind-Ups, like, they're nerfed now. There isn't, there's only one magician, blah, blah, blah. The thing with Pendulum summoning is it lets you basically just drop all your Wind-Ups. When you don't have Shark, or when you're running like the builds that run like Warrior or Soldier, and you just want to get like the, that's the strangest ringtone thing, notification. When you want to get your Wind-Up monsters out to the field, and like, have you ever been in like the situation where, say, you have the Magician in your hand, but you don't have the Shark, so you can't summon the Magician because there's not another Wind-Up monster's effect to activate. With something like Pendulum summoning, you can literally drop like a Magician, a Rabbit, and like whatever else, and use the Rap's effect and like get your combo started. It makes it faster, and so you don't necessarily have to have Shark. Shark doesn't become as crucial. Wind-Ups can go off sooner and go off bigger if you have like things like a Rat in your hand, and you can summon it and then do your plays and then switch the Rat and then just do more. And so, Wind-Ups.
Yes, just to piggyback on that, I hate Wind-Ups. Like I said, they're kind of nerfed to where they're not as sick as they used to be.
Nobody cares what you hate.
You motherfuckers care. I think anything that helps Wind-Ups is horrible. So, if it has to do with Wind-Ups, then I'm against Pendulum Summoning. Just gonna put that out there. Anyway, next deck, Chaos Dragons. Of course, Chaos Dragons have been a thing for quite a few years now, and they're still devastating because they can get a lot of power to the field very easily. But there's always that situation where you need your monsters on the field, but you don't have the right equipment, the right fodder to actually get them out there, like a light pulsar that needs a dark and a light, and all you got is a red eyes DMB in the graveyard. You don't want to banish it. So with Pendulum Summoning, once again, you can get these big heavy hitters out there to the field immediately. And at this day and age, a lot of decks are spot removal 1-for-1. So if you got a lot of heavy hitters out on the field at the same time, it causes a problem and puts a lot of pressure on your opponent to get rid of them all, because, okay, they took care of one problem, they've still got 3 to 4 other potential large problems to face. So you don't really need the graveyard setup as much as you used to with Chaos Dragon. So it's not really a bad hand if you can just drop them to the field anyway without having to banish anything from your graveyard. And it also works around like Necro Valley and shit like that.
My next deck is Inzektors. So the thing about Inzektors is, like, you know, with Dragonfly and Hornet both at 1, they're kind of inconsistent, and whenever like your Centipede play gets, say, stopped, or like Phoenix Chained or whatever, you're usually kind of forced to just end your turn. With Pendulum Summoning, if you have like multiple Centipedes or a Centipede and a Dragonfly, or like just any real windups in your hand, or not windups, Inzektors in your hand, you can summon like multiple Inzektors, and with just one Hornet in your grave, you've got multiple Inzektors. You can pop multiple cards in a turn, get several like searches and summons, and it's basically kind of more speed. It makes the deck feel less fragile. It like makes the deck feel less vulnerable to that single Fiendish or that single Effect Veiler. So now like their one Fiendish, their one Effect Veiler can stop like one of your Centipedes or Dragonflies, but you've got more. So in that way, it kind of makes Inzektors not really any more consistent necessarily, but just stronger field presence. They can do more in one turn than they could before. So Inzektors, play them. I actually hate the deck, but play them anyway. I don't know.
Dark Scorpions. Dark Scorpions are a band of what, 5? Dark Scorpions is a deck of like just, well, it's pretty much a deck of small monsters with devastating effects. They pretty much do a lot of hand, deck, and field disruption, but they're small and they have to do damage. The issue is, once again, they work better together. They have a card that pretty much allows them all to attack directly, and when they do that, they say once again they start disruption. We have one that mills, that takes from the hand, that pops spells and traps, that bounces things. So playing Pendulum Summons, you can actually get them all to the field and play their spell card that actually allows them to attack directly. And once they all get their effects off, you pretty much leave your opponent at a huge disadvantage, either field-wise and or deck and hand-wise. So I chose Dark Scorpion because it's an old relic. They've always been fun. Dunzaloo was like my favorite monster in the game for like my first 4 years playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And even though I don't think the deck will ever get more support, I think it should see some play, even just for fun with your friends. It'll surprise them, and once again, their effects are devastating.
The next deck is Monster Mash. So this is a bit ambiguous because like there are a lot of ways you can build Monster Mash, but regardless of how you build it, Monster Mash is just basically your 40 monster deck that all of their effects work together. You know, like it's been done like since 2010, 11 sort of, where people just made these 40 monster decks. With Pendulum Summoning, you can just do everything faster. I mean, I know that sounds like a really vague, stupid reason, but like it's true. Like, I mean, when you can like summon multiple monsters in a turn, sometimes Monster Mash has the weakness of like when its normal summon or something gets negated, it sometimes just has to stop.
Yeah.
So this way, you just don't have to stop. Back me up.
Yeah. Next choice is Agents. God, did I burp? Oh, that was me? Okay. Next choice is Agents. We already know the Agents have always been a pretty good deck. I mean, they've shown in a lot of YCSs over the past few years. They haven't gotten a lot of players of recently, but that doesn't mean that they're still not any good. Pretty much depending on something, it helps a lot because usually your biggest play is going Venus into like triple shine ball or whatever, into like a gotcha or something like that, and that's cool. But this day and age, you need something a little more consistent because that's easy to get around. Whereas now you pretty much have you play Pendulum Agents, and you can pretty much get your Earths and your Venuses to the field. Still get off their effects. You can still go for your Synchros and bigger Exceeds, and it still sets you up for your Hyperion and probably your Chaos monsters, which you're probably going to be running anyway. So the Agents have always been a largely monster-based deck anyway. So that just screams out Pendulum Summoning, because Pendulums are all about summoning monsters, more monsters one at a time, going for the spam. Agents can OTK, and they can also play the control game with their power monsters. So Pendulum just kind of gives them that extra push to actually keep enough pressure on board.
And the last deck is Lavals. I don't actually know why this is on this list.
How about we just talk about Junk Doppel? Because we live in an age of Maxi and age of everybody running triple Veiler and things like that. And Lavals, I'm sorry, are not really a threat anymore thanks to them nuking and rekindling those bitches. But Junk Doppel actually would be a good one because, of course, once again, that's another monster heavy deck. So being able to not have to worry about summoning Junk Synchron and getting it Veilered, and then you end your turn, instead of just being able to drop all your material on the field, you're still allowed to make a lot of bigger plays and a lot of bigger pushes from that. And of course, the deck is mostly monster based, so it's not a lot, I guess, defensive protection. But of course, you come out with big beaters, you come out with great effects. Synchros pretty much have some of the best effects in the game, and so Junk Doppel is probably one of the better decks that actually can make these synchros. I think Pendulum Summon with Junk Doppel is, of course, by far more superior than Lavals, but I think that would be actually the next deck of choice.
Yeah, forget Lavals, viewers. Those are 10 decks that we thought Pendulum Summoning will drastically improve or just make a little more viable than they are now. But for you viewers, leave comments. What decks do you guys think, aside from like gadgets and scraps, like duh. Yeah, but I'd like to thank SlimXTeamSymmetry for letting me put this video on his channel. I appreciate, you know, the support. It's great that there are big YuGi-Tubers who help small YuGi-Tuber trash like me. So check out my channel if you enjoyed this. We do videos like this a lot. We did like 10 underrated cards or something like that.
Yeah, 10 underrated tech ideas for 2014. But yeah, go check out his channel, you guys. With the Team APS.
Yeah, Team APS.
But we'll have a lot of skits and everything for you guys as well. So hopefully, if you guys like fun and entertainment, be looking forward to that.
Out.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Peace.
Drink. Really? I don't even hold a piece. All right.